Ha ha! And we are live. But we're gonna wait till folks come in and then
Okay.
we're gonna get out there. So you was out there doing a little shopping or something?
Huh?
You were out doing a little shopping?
I was just getting some what is that stuff you put in your windshield wiper fluid stuff.
Oh, that's what it's called, I think.
Windshield wiper.
Look at you getting lips ready and things.
Gotta have my
Look at
red lips.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I actually didn't call anybody to be on the show tonight. I had Linda had called me earlier. She had called me
Oh, really?
earlier, and her internet was going bad. She's in Miami. She did a show, and now the internet is down there, and she's in the car actually. But she might get on. She might come on later. We're gonna see. So I didn't call anybody
Okay.
because I think I want to maybe have a guest on every other week or something, and then I'm
Right,
gonna
right.
get it together. So hey, I want to welcome y'all to the Doctor of Love Friday, and my co-host tonight is no other than. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Toy Moore. I am an author. Toymoore.com. TOIMOORE. Uh, a whole bunch of stuff. Pie maker.
All that.
Just trying to get my thoughts together. I have several books, which some of my books deal with relationships, sex and relationship. I used to put a lot of the questions on Facebook and let people answer them. And I actually have two volumes called Adult Conversations. Regular, where people on Facebook would answer the questions that I would put on there. And then I have a version of Adult Conversations According to God's Word, where I interviewed pastors and ministers, and I put their responses to sex and relationship questions. And I also put scriptures from the Bible to follow on what they said. So yeah, I have been dealing with sex and relationship questions for quite a while. Pretty interesting.
Okay. What makes you qualified to talk about sex and relationships?
I've been married now going almost 37 years, so I done heard and seen and been through a lot. I talked to a lot of my girlfriends who are single and some married, and get advice from them or either just get their feedback on the single life, the married life, whatever. So personal experiences.
There you go. And that's where I get them from. I also get them from them. So I want y'all to go out and start asking some questions. Let's get on it. Get on. Start popping these questions on, and we're gonna answer them for you. Izzy, what's up? I see you, big dog. I see you, big dog. Let's go to a. Let me see if I can get to this other question. This question, and I believe you answered it. You asked.
I'm trying to
Let me
see
see.
where your questions at. I don't see them.
No, they Okay, hit the top where it say comments, the top right.
Right. Okay. Wait, let me turn my camera around. Comments. I don't see comments.
Are you on your computer or are you on your phone?
I'm on my phone. You don't get it on your phone?
I don't know. You should have clicked on your computer, I think. I don't know. I never really did this.
Okay. I don't see comments on here. Yeah, so you just gonna have to read them.
Okay,
I'm
let's
supposed
go
to
with
help
this
you with
first one.
that.
Let's go with this
Okay.
first one. Shout out to Jacqueline. This is from her. She says, how can a couple manage to stay together if someone has cheated?
Yeah.
How can a couple stay together if someone has cheated? Do I
Yeah.
answer that first? You want me to start off or
Yeah, you
you wanna
you
attack it?
can. You
Okay.
can. Well, okay. Well, I mean, you can go first. It doesn't matter. What would you
Okay.
say?
What would I say? I would say they stay together because love conquers all. Your heart, what comes from your heart is what comes from your heart. It conquers, it trumps everything, you know, because sometimes you sit back and look at your home girl, your homeboy, and you see why do they stay in relationships, and you try to talk to them and give them advice, but they're never going to listen to you. They're going to always do what their heart tells them to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why when people ask me questions, I always ask them, I turn it around on them. I say, what would you tell your daughter? What would you tell your son? Because anything I tell you is not going to matter, because you're going to do what you want to do anyway. So people stay together out of love. You know, love trumps everything. How about you? What you got?
Yeah, I would think that, for one, I know women, we tend to be more forgiving. I guess we always want to see the good in someone first, just people in general. And of course, yeah, love has a lot to do with it. And sometimes people just stay together because they hope that the person won't do it again, you know, and sometimes there's a lot on the line. For women, we may be more dependent on our husband taking care of us. So sometimes we may have to turn the other cheek and hope and pray it doesn't happen, you know, and just, you know, kind of hope you can get through it together. Of course, counseling and different things help. But if you find that you're in a relationship with someone who is a repeated cheater, then it's time to go, you know, because it's like, why is that person even married? You know, you made vows to stay together. And even though men are saying, you know, well, men aren't equipped to be with just one woman, well, then don't get married, you know, or either what happens is the men will say, well, we could cheat, but our woman can't, you know, and it's two-sided, you know. And of course, when you come back to that question, and I understand men supposedly cheat because they're more visual creatures. They just see some candy and they want it. You know, right. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. What I hear, one of my friends told me one time, before she got with this guy she was with, that he was with a woman for off and on for like 3 years, and it was just a sexual relationship. He didn't even know her name. So if women cheat, we have disconnected from our husbands. You know, a lot of times our heart and our soul is disconnected. And we will, you know, women will cheat because someone else has captured our heart and our soul. We're more emotional creatures. So, you know, men, you know, we all cheat for different reasons. But to forgive it has to be an individual choice. You know, it has to take a whole lot of work, because once that trust is broken, sometimes it never comes back. Sometimes you really try hard to get it back. You try all that you can do, and sometimes it's just, when it's gone, you know.
They say, the saying is, never let another man make your woman smile. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to keep her smiling. Yeah. Hey, Lee says he ain't never stand with a woman that cheats on him. There's no way. You got to watch. But you know what? Some people,
that's what the men say, because they know that
what the men say.
Women, they know that with the women, ours is more emotional. I know Lee is asking, out of 37 years, have you ever wanted to cheat? Ooh, Lee, I ain't supposed to be telling my business. I'm supposed to be answering the question.
Yeah,
but I think we all see someone and we want to cheat in our mind, but do we cross that bridge? So
this brother getting sick. He getting all up in your business.
Personal,
bro.
Get out my business, Lee.
You gotta come on. We answering your questions.
Exactly. Come on, man. Don't make it personal.
Yeah, you making it personal, Lee. Come on, man.
I think at some point, when people just desire someone and you just look at someone and be like, I wonder, that's like a form of cheating. So I guess in some sense, everyone cheats, but it's the actions, if people actually react to the thoughts.
There you go. And another answer to that is people stay together because they have kids. They have
Yes. Yeah,
kids.
there's a lot of reasons.
They have
Financial, yeah.
property.
Kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
all that. And some of them,
Yeah.
and some people, most people, I believe, don't want to start all over. You know.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you're
a
out
lot.
there and your spouse cheated on you, your boyfriend cheated on you,
Yeah.
you're amongst a whole lot of people because there's a
Yeah.
whole lot
Yeah.
of that going around. So don't
Yeah.
lose faith. Do not lose faith in your relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm gonna just say the grass is not greener on the other side.
Yeah.
So
And two, it has to be two people because sometimes you'll get in a situation where one is really trying hard to make the relationship work because it's not going to always be good. So you have sometimes one person who's trying really, really hard and the other one isn't. So it's a two-way street. If you don't have both people trying to make it work, even through your dysfunctions and your mess ups and your faults and stuff like that. If you only have one person trying to make it work, it's not going to work. So it definitely takes two to make it work.
yeah, and that goes back to a question that you asked a couple of weeks ago. You asked, can one person be in love with two people at the same time? And I want you to answer that. Can
You know what I would say for the in love part, I would say no. Now you can love you can love a whole bunch of people different ways because love is in all kind of different, you know, categories. But as far as for me personally, in love with someone, that means you're not even tempted to go anywhere because that person just completes you. Not necessarily makes you, but they complete you. And I think that if you're happy with yourself, with your partner, even through the good, bad, and the ugly, but if you're happy and content, or both of you, not just one, it's got to be, again, both parties, then I think that you can't be in love with someone else, but you can love different people, but not in
right,
love.
right. You know what? We have another guest on, or we have the co-host, Linda. Let me click her in. Hey, hey, hey,
Yes.
hey.
Hi,
Welcome.
Linda.
Hey there.
Hey,
Hi.
I got a
It has
question.
been a very busy day.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I need to know, is Puma paying us? Because you sure have a Puma on your shirt. Is that our sponsor?
Oh yeah, Puma shirt, yeah,
Yeah.
Puma pants,
Renee,
Puma
I see
shoes,
Renee.
Puma cap, all of it.
All of it. How's your trip going in Florida?
It's going well, just busy. I had a great ladies retreat last weekend. Oh, well, yeah, last weekend, Saturday. That went very well. And
Can you
now I'm vacationing with my son and my daughter here in Miami. Is what we're doing.
can you tell us a little bit about the
But
retreat?
everything is do what now? Let me see. My
Can you
volume
tell
is
us a
low or
little bit
something, I
about
think.
the retreat?
Oh, so what I do is what's called a women's wellness and education retreat. And we talk about everything from, like health and wellness from an 8 component perspective. And of course, part of that includes emotions and relationship, how healthy are you in that area? And then we do the physical health, and I usually have a massage therapist here. I have an esthetician with us. I actually had a couple of people that, or agency organizations, say companies, that talked about alternative medicines having to do with CBD as well as a little medical marijuana type of thing, for people dealing with
Okay.
anxiety and depression.
I know
And
you up there smoking, huh?
then we have great discussions, refreshment, and we talk about what it means to be well. So this last
Or
session, what was really important about that one is that we dealt with legacies, inherited legacies. which explains certain behaviors we have, things we need to break away from, things we need to recreate in our lives. So, and it sort of helped them identify what things they were reinforcing that they didn't even like reinforcing. So it was good.
So
Good.
are you guys, do the people like the massage therapists and all that, do you guys fly them in, or are they from Miami? Do they all live in
Yeah.
Miami?
We usually what I do wherever I'm doing the wellness fair at, I will solicit health and wellness, organizations or people in that area, so they don't have to fly in anywhere. So I use locals in most cases.
In most cases,
I
because
had one
the
from
reason I'm
Jacksonville,
asking,
but I knew her. Yeah, I usually solicit people in the location that I'm going to host a wellness fair at to come in.
okay, the reason I'm asking, because I have a young lady that's on the screen right now. She's a master of many things. So you may have to get her out there to one of those shows to do something, because you guys
Okay.
kind of seem like you
Oh,
guys together
Miss
on.
Toy.
Yeah, I'd love
Yes.
to join you
Yeah,
sometime. How you
we'll have to
doing,
talk
Linda?
about. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
How are
Stephen
you
called
doing?
me at the last minute. He said
Good,
I
you
called
weren't
her like,
able to be on right a minute, right away,
man,
or if
I am.
you. He called me like 15 minutes ago, talking about we gonna be on the air in 5 minutes. Like really? He's like,
man,
what
I'm
you
telling
doing?
you,
Well, I am so.
I'm telling you.
I am so excited you were able to, because I was kind of like, this is not working right here, right about now. It's not working. So
Right,
Wait, I,
I
right.
am
I
glad
was
you were
up the
able.
street. I was up the street taking my time. I'm like, I got to rush for nothing. I was like, shoot, let me hurry up, pay for my stuff, come down the street real quick, take my work shirt off, throw another one on, put some lipstick. I'm ready. What woman Stephen, could get
I
ready
didn't
that
even.
quick?
Hey, I've never, dude. She was done. She
Yeah,
was
I
ready.
didn't
She was
even
popping
do
on
the
the screen
lipstick
so
thing.
fast. I was like, "Whoa, she's coming on
I was like,
already." I just knew I was gonna do the first 30 minutes by myself alone. So, hey, Linda, Lee said, you probably at the conference, getting high, smoking that
At the
marijuana.
conference, Dad and I.
Yeah, he's funny. He's
No,
funny.
it's really interesting. I have done like the CBD oil, and they have gummies too, but I haven't done the THC. I don't have a need for that. But
Right.
um, I know the oils, hemp oil and all, they so many health properties in those. So that's a new conversation, help people relax too,
Yeah.
not be
All
so
right.
uptight. So
What was
we got any people, pardon?
No, I was
We
gonna
have
go to a
people on,
question.
and any
Yeah,
questions?
I have few people on right now. I was gonna go back to the question that Toy and I already answered. It says, how can a couple manage to stay together if someone has cheated?
Oh, wow, that's a
How?
good question there. I think I saw that. So
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
done with that question, or you want my
We yeah
my
we
um
we
my
want your
input?
insight. Yeah, we want your insight.
Oh, okay, so my insight on that, what kind of person people do if there's been cheating. Number one, I think people need to recognize, especially the cheater, has to recognize the impact that cheating has on the relationship. A relationship can recover, but it requires that the person who's guilty, I'm just going to call them the cheater, okay? The cheater must be genuine about their ability to remain faithful in that relationship and be held accountable. Because what happens is that when someone's cheat, oftentimes they're expecting the other person to just get over it. And it doesn't work that way, because cheating is the
Right.
first line of trust that is broken. And
Exactly.
anytime trust is broken in a relationship, it has to be rebuilt. So that means, the person may not want to hear over and over again, what are you doing? You like questions. What are you doing? Where are you going? So they have to come into the relationship with the idea, with the mindset that if they're done cheating, to say that, hey, this is where I'm going. And I encourage couples to read certain books too, about cheating and, the impact it has. and how relationships recover from that. They can recover, but the cheater must be done cheating in order for it to work. And he has to be, he or she, should I say, has to be convincing that this is where they're going to be. Because just because a person say they're sorry doesn't mean the pain goes away. It doesn't mean that, the whole, that feeling of betrayal, it doesn't leave because you say you're sorry. So it requires work if they're going to stay together, but relationships can
Right.
recover.
Right. So let's put some answers out there that answer this. Why do people cheat? Let's give some reason why people cheat.
Okay.
I'll start off. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I say people cheat because your spouse or your significant other ignores you and don't spend time with you. I say that's one. I need one from both of you.
I'd say a lot of times for women, the reason why women cheat is to, like you say, ignoring them is one. But if they find out that their spouse has cheated, they want revenge.
Oh, revenge. I just heard that last weekend. I hear that so much. Revenge.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Revenge.
Yeah, they want revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
You did this to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Two could play that game.
Yeah. And that's all it is a game.
Yeah.
So how about you?
Linda,
Linda?
I used to kind of think that way too, when I was in my younger days, that, what, hey, we're both going to play this game and see how that works, how it feels, since that's what we're going to do. But what I came to realize too, it was doing more damage to me than it was to him to even attempt to do that. So, cheating really is not about, like I know people do revenge cheating, but revenge cheating is really paying yourself back as well as your spouse, because you're having to stoop to a level that may not be your character if that's not who you are. And now you're being motivated or driven by what someone else does, as opposed to who you are as a human being and who you want to be your character. And as I think we kind of talked about this question once before, I think people cheat because there are needs simply that, and I hate to put everybody in a like in this generalizing everything, but people cheat for various reasons. Unmet needs are the biggest one that people cheat for a lot of times. Some people, get married and they still may be serial cheaters or daters. They were not ready to settle down, so there are various reasons. If a person's not ready to settle down, they think that marriage is going to fix the problem, they still don't stop. Or if, maybe there was some unmet needs, someone needed somewhere to stay. So to make this thing legal and make it right, we're going to hook up, we're going to get married, whatever, or, just say they're in this committed relationship, but not be truthful that they have not let go of their past. Some people say they're in committed relationship and they're still doing the same thing. So cheating results from, if I say that, like, for instance, I've heard this scenario before. Well, he wasn't able to meet my financial need, couldn't pay the bills or whatever. And I met this person who was giving it up. And that's so that goes back to, if money is your drive, then you would cheat for money, if that makes sense. And then I hear some on the reverse side, a guy saying that when I first met her, she was sexy, she was this. And now all of a sudden she's looking like an old maid and someone else caught my eyes, or I'm not getting the affection. There's no connection anymore. There's no spice in the relationship. Those are the reasons people say they cheat. So
are those,
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I say is that you have to fix the problem, because cheating, you go to another person, you have the same problem if you don't learn how to address them.
That's where that saying comes, the grass isn't greener on the other side. We get that. I get that all the time, and it's not,
until you get over there, right?
Until you get over there, man. When you get over there, man, a lot of times it's worse. It might be good at the beginning, because I think everything that's fresh is kind of exciting. It keeps you excited and in there. But then you start settling down. That's when relationships really, how do you say, that's when relationships really start seeing what direction both of you are going to go in, because it takes time to see, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like I said, the first few years, the first couple years, hey, it's exciting, it's hot and exciting,
Mhm.
and you want to see what's next.
Yeah.
But once all
But
that, what do you call it? Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say, I think what people, I use the 80-20 rule for a lot of things. That's Pareto's rule of life, how most things work. In relationships, like when people cheat, you're really cheating with the 20% in most cases, because the 80% is that person who get up, doesn't look cute every day because they're doing the housework or he's doing the yard work. The one that's dealing with the stresses of financial. If children are involved, they're dealing with the children. So you're dealing with all of these issues. That's the 80%. The 20% is the vacation time. People cheat with the 20%. And then in a lot of cases, after that relationship ends, you realize the 20% don't want the whole 80. They just wanted the 20. And you have messed up your relationship. Don't forget the 80-20 rule, people. If you're thinking about cheating, you're only getting the 20.
Exactly.
You're giving up. And then, so how would that other person function having to do the whole 80, 100%? So it's just something to think about when we say we're cheating. What are we giving up? What are we gaining?
Right.
Right.
What you got to say?
Right. Is it worth it? Yeah. At the end of the day, because you hear people, they cheat and they want to apologize and they want forgiveness, as you guys were saying. And then after that, they have to make a decision. Are they ready to stop? And what did you lose? Because if you lose that person's trust, that doesn't come back easily at all. And sometimes that can be the end of everything, no matter how much you try to make it work. If you don't gain that person's trust, then it's gonna be doomed, period.
Yeah. I have a question actually.
Absolutely.
From you. It says, you said, what causes a couple that totally feeling each other become disconnected? And that question comes along with, you know how many preachers and ministers out there that's married, you know how many of them get divorced, and you think you think these preachers or these Christians are going to be always together. They get more divorces than anybody, and they cheat more than anybody. So going back to your question is, I'm gonna read it again. What causes a couple that is totally feeling each other to become disconnected?
I think personally, with that one, I would think because the people stop doing what they did to get the person. A lot of times you hear in relationships, well, you didn't do the same thing you did to catch me as you do to try to keep me. People get comfortable, as you were saying, Stevie. It's like you don't comb your hair, you don't put no lipstick on, you don't smell good, you just walk around in sweats, and you don't really care about yourself, you don't care about your appearance. And even some women, we are of course based on our looks, we gain weight because we have kids and we have hormone things, but you can still make the best of yourself as a small or a big woman, and it doesn't always mean that because you got bigger that you got to be sloppy, and it also doesn't mean every day that you got to put on lipstick and comb your hair, but at least make the efforts to try to be best you that you could be on the thing that captured that man's heart. But then too, on the flip side of that, you have women who do all of that. They try to be the best in bed, they try to be the best wife, mother, everything, and sometimes it's still not good enough. So I think for me, it just seems like that's an individual choice,
Linda?
Okay. All right. So, and I would add to piggyback onto that, I think of some of the basic human needs that we have that creates connection or disconnection. One is eye contact. After a while, when people are together, they tend to communicate in evasive ways. They don't get up close and personal. They don't give the eye contact, that undivided attention when you're having that discussion. That moment when you look someone in the eye and say, did I say I love you today? That's a form of connection.
Right.
The other one is
Yeah.
touch. People can go all day, day after day, and may not touch each other until they go to bed at night
Right.
when they're half asleep. Touch is really important. To give a hug. Touch actually is so powerful that it creates the whole chemical reactions in our brain. Again, I talked a little bit about oxytocin once before, about the bonding chemical that's released when there's intimacy in a relationship between man and a woman, such as with the child and the mother, the nurturing spirit. So I think that people forget, don't take time out to nurture their relationships. We want this rose garden of a wedding or marriage,
Yeah.
but no one is cultivating. I wrote
Yeah.
something once where I was talking about steps to having a flourishing relationship. You have to cultivate your marriage. Relationships don't just happen like some pie in the sky that we're going to be connected, everything's going to be great. It happens when people are involved in their relationships. They are intentional about sending love notes to each other, giving them a thought of the day, maybe packing a lunch, sending a gift, flowers or whatever, just because. That attention is so important. And when I say touch, to embrace, to walk past someone, to touch, a kiss, that out of the blue, hey, let's do lunch today. And when we do those things, relationships will grow, they will flourish, and we stay connected. Communication is the other thing. Take time out at night when you go to bed to do a little pillow talk, not to talk about problems and junk, but pillow talk. What you mean to me, how my day was, my fears, my concern, all of that deepens connection and intimacy and relationship instead of broadcasting everywhere. Is when we take time out to share our deepest secrets, our deepest fears, our love, our concern. Love is a very powerful thing, but at the same time, a very vulnerable thing. And we don't say, I love you enough. Looking the person in the eye to say that means a lot.
Yeah.
So I believe that we tend to forget just the basic elements of intimacy, communication that keeps our relationship, spicy. Do something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, you have to keep that fire burning. You have to keep the fire burning. So, ladies, I got a question for you. What do you do?
Wait, before you go on, I'd
ahead.
like to say the R-rated version of that is make me wet without touching me.
There you go.
There
Make
you
love
go.
to mine.
That intimate fire and desire. If you can talk to your man or
Yeah.
woman or whatever, and because it all has to start too with the foreplay, and the foreplay can just be words. Let that
Words
person
or
know.
touch.
Yeah.
baby.
Just that look.
And as women sometimes
Yeah.
say, shoot, let us come home if you washing dishes or vacuuming the floor. Shoot, we gonna come up to you and it's gonna be, that's
On
foreplay.
and popping.
So
and
yeah,
popping.
make me wet,
Okay.
make me want you, make me hot without even touching me. You really doing something.
Exactly.
Right.
So what
In
what
other
do you
words,
do?
I always say it this way: say so deep in my mind that I don't have time to look at anyone else. Because all I think
Yes,
about is you, baby.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if a person's love language is touch, feel, and the partner isn't, and they don't like being touched or felt on? What do you do? What does someone do if your
Would,
partner don't want to touch you?
would you repeat that, Stephen? Because I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but it was breaking up.
This your connection. But what do you
Okay.
do?
Say it again.
What do you do? What do you do when your love language is touch, feel? Your partners isn't. They don't like touching. What do you do to? I don't want to change their mind to get them, because you can't. A grown person, you can't
Yeah.
talk them into touching.
I think. What I think in that one, Stephen? I think that people have to talk about their love language. and recognize what each other need that speaks love to them. And when you love someone, they don't have to convince you to touch them or hug them. You give the person what they need, So if yours is, quality time, if it's touch, if it's receiving, you give them what they need. Because if as long as you give me what you want me to have, that's when I feel undervalued and unappreciated, because you're giving me what you want and you're calling it love, but that's not high on my list of significance. So
Right.
like a person who gets flowers, a woman who gets flowers and say, I don't like flowers, they just kind of cast them to the side, versus a woman who loves receiving flowers. So back to the hug and touch, I understand, like some people say, well, I'm not affectionate. I was not raised that way, well, you have to learn to be affectionate, because you know what?
Exactly. It ain't
We were
about you.
designed, created, and built to be that way.
Right.
It ain't
And
about you. 'Cause
you practice it.
yeah, I get that a lot. Because a lot of people ask me these questions. What can I do to get my woman or my man into what you're doing? I'm like, it's all on your woman or your man. You can't get them to do it. They have to. They have to understand you. They have to understand your body. They have to understand, like Toy just making love to her mind. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
can't push when you're in a
Exactly. That's
relationship. It's
powerful.
about you. It's about you and you making your partner feel good. Sit back and study
Yes.
it from the beginning.
Yes.
You need to know what she likes or what he likes,
Right.
and you have to cater to what they like, and they have to cater to what you like. That's what makes great relationships. That makes relationships
Yeah.
last.
Right.
If you're not, let me say, if you're not touching me, then shit, why am I with you? That's what I like, So I get that a lot. So Carl Lee, all good. He says, why women mistrust me so much?
Why what?
He said, why
That's a
does women trust
personal
me
thing,
so much?
Carl. We don't know.
Huh?
That's personal. That's personal,
Why
Carl. What's up,
why do
Carl?
women
Mistrust
It
him.
says, why women mistrust me so much? I think it's why do women mistrust me so much? I think it might have been a joke.
not all women mistrust, just like all men do not. And if you're with someone who doesn't trust, number one, you got to figure out, is it you who broke the trust? Or are you trustworthy? Because if
Yeah.
every woman you connect with is untrusting, then that means that either
It's a personal
you have something in you that's attracting those type of women,
thing.
or you broken trust somewhere. Are you
Mhm.
trustworthy? Do you present yourself transparently? Are you transparent? I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
because
The
it comes
thing
from
is,
somewhere.
you must trust yourself so that you can trust others.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
like
you trust yourself.
yeah.
So,
And
because
like
I get
Linda
that.
was saying, yeah, who are you attracting? Because maybe you're attracting women who have already been burned, been hurt, going down that road. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it's not personally on you, it's just, it could be a man thing, or even, men mistrusting women because they've gotten burned down the way. So it depends
Times.
on who you're doing it individually, or if you're doing it as basing it on the sex that you're attracted to.
Right. Trust, like I said, trust comes within yourself. Trust you to
Yeah.
trust them, you know, because if you're not happy, it's time to stop. You got to make yourself happy. So shout
Yeah.
out to Tina. Hey,
Yeah,
Tina, I
because
see
some
you.
women
What's your
will
question?
say, some women will say all men are dogs, and then men are like, you can't put all of us in one category, But then if they've seen the majority of men appear or act like dogs, as far as, mistreating people and playing around and stuff like that, then you can come to that conclusion. But we can't lump everybody in one area. You have to look at everybody individually.
All right.
Yeah.
So I got one more question because Lee is not asking us questions. This is another question. Doy. So I got dang it, I can't answer. I'm the only man on here. I can't answer that. You
But
know,
that's what
I
we
might
want, the doctor of love.
the doctor of love. Okay, well, I
That's
wanted
right.
another man's opinion. Okay, we're gonna go with it. Do men really lose their soul from great sex? If so, how can he become disconnected from her? Do men really lose their souls from great sex? If so, how can he become disconnected from her? Let me see. Good sex. What is good sex? You know what I'm saying? That's the first question. Good sex. Good sex between two people is more, to me personally, to me, is more of if I'm feeling you, if I'm liking you. That's what sex is. People ask us what's good, but if it could be okay, me, you and I'm talking about you and I. Okay, we meet and I'm feeling you, and we on the same page, and it's sex, we getting along real fine. It's great sex. And I'm telling my boys, girl, she is fire. This sex is fire. Then a year later, she got a bad attitude, and she's just getting smart, talking back to everybody, and we're kind of growing apart. The sex ain't that good. We're not feeling each other. Sex is much in your mind when you're feeling that. It's great sex when you get along. Sex ain't that good splitting up. You know what I'm saying? It's regular sex. So it's kind of a mind thing to me.
Right. True.
Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
but you got to say about that. I know you agree. Linda, go ahead. I see a look on her face like, what?
No, I'm just smiling. And you all can help me with this one, but I don't know if maybe I don't understand what it means for a man to lose his soul because of great sex, because I've never known a man to lose his soul for great sex. I've known him to lose his mind and
I
go
think
to
they were
ruin.
talking
He
about
loses
that last
everything.
week, Linda. I think that's where that question came. I think they were talking about it
From
last
last
week.
week, because
Yeah, where they were talking
it's
about losing
your
your
soul.
soul. Yeah, I mean,
Your
yeah,
soul
I
is
was,
the seat of your emotions.
yes,
Your
yeah,
soul is the seat of your emotions, and this is where women get in trouble at.
yeah,
Men are like more. It's more of a mental and physiological thing that where they lack self-control at, and sometimes to the ruin of everything that they own. You know, if you look through history, from the White House to the Craig House, from biblical to non-biblical, was always because of sex and a woman. Samson, for
yeah,
instance, lost everything. He didn't lose his soul, but he lost his strength. He lost his wealth. David got in trouble. He murdered a man for sex. So men have a different drive when they get great sex or something that they crave and they lust after, to have it.
right.
And now, and disconnection, women deal with that more than men too, with the connection, but men really have to go in emotionally. And I think that's one of the most challenging things for men to become real vulnerable to, because again, I think they have like this, they don't like to lose control. They like to be in control. And women kind of function differently in that way. We attach emotion and through emotions, and men attach through their ego, their strength, their mind, their power of what they own, and they don't like giving that up. And
No.
when they are uncontrolled through sex, or that's where they lose their strength at. Sort of like the whole Samson story.
Yeah, I've
So
never heard
I
of
don't
a
know,
man
but
losing his soul. I've never heard of a man losing his soul or even his mind over sex, But see, I don't drive like that, so I don't really. And a lot of guys don't talk like that. We
yeah.
don't, we don't. That's not locker room talk. So,
So,
We get
Steve,
it. I don't, and I don't think a guy would ever say that he's lost his mind over sex. But if you lose
right.
everything you own because of sex, then so what in the world what are you doing? What is that about?
right, right. There
So
are some.
Steve,
There,
answer this one. Answer this one for me. Like I said earlier, some women will just try to do everything and be everything for their man. The sex is good, the relationship is good, this and that. So does a man just become greedy if he, steps out and finds somebody else when a woman is given everything? I mean, and he's supposedly just really attached to her, and then she thinks that he's on the same page with her, and then later on he's like, bye Felicia. What's up with that?
That goes back to what we were just talking about.
Right.
What you are feeling is what you are feeling. What I am feeling is what I am feeling. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that you've given me everything and but it's not that way. You know what I'm saying? I know what I like. You don't know what I like. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, man, are you telling this and man, I've been giving this man everything. I've been doing this. I've been sleeping him every night. I've been waking him up, down. I'm doing all.
Right.
And that may not be what I like.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That may not be what I like. So you got to find that spot, that every individual man has. You got to find his spot and what he likes. Same for us. We have to find and get what makes you tick. We have to find that
So
out.
why is it so hard for a man to tell a woman, when he's not feeling it?
Because we kind of slow and we don't even know what we want. I'm gonna be honest, we don't know. We don't know until that's it. We don't know.
You don't know until the moment happens.
Until the moment, I'm like, oh, okay, either one. Okay,
And see, I think when it, I really believe, I haven't always been there, but I realize the significance of open communication. And I think that two people in a relationship should be able to talk about anything,
right,
including their sexual pleasure. I shouldn't have to be trying to figure out what he needs, but
exactly.
all the time. I mean, I can use my creativity, but I think he should be able to have that conversation. I think likewise for a woman, the more mature we get, we should be able to talk about sex. I mean, everybody is doing it. Why don't we have these open, just good dialogue about, hey, this is what I want you to do to me tonight,
See,
we don't have those conversations.
But we
need to talk.
Yeah, that takes it back to men don't like to have those conversations. Men don't really like to talk. They'll watch porn, but the conversation, how many men you just sit down and talk to, and I'm talking about somebody you're having a sex with and just have a conversation with, I always say men don't like to talk. We need to talk more.
They may not, that sounds like a person not wanting to eat the proper foods because they don't like it, even though it's healthy. And I think we got to get out of likes and dislikes. We do what we need to do to have a healthy and a sustainable relationship. You want a spicy relationship, then do what's necessary. That's how I see it. We can't be picky. We're picky with our foods. I coach people every day, almost 5 days a week, and someone is overweight, has diabetes, has high blood pressure, and I'm trying to coach them on nutrition, and they're telling me, "Oh, I don't like that." It's so nonsense to me. If life is not working, and here is the recipe to make it work, and you're saying, "Oh, I don't like that." Same way in relationships. People get on this whole kick of, "Oh, I don't like this. I don't." Okay, stop complaining.
It goes back to communication. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. It goes to communication. I need to know what you like, and you need to know what. But the thing is, what if your partner don't want to talk? What if your partner don't want to talk sex?
Well, a lot of times it's like men are not great communicators. I see that.
That's it right there.
And why are men not great communicators? Why do you guys just kind of be like, I don't want to talk about it? You can't fix it if you don't talk about it. Why is that, Steve?
Okay, let me say my experience, and I'm just talking for me right here. I'm ADHD to the 10th power. While y'all talking and I'm listening to you, my mind is thinking about 500 other things so I'm really not. I'm listening to you, but I'm really not listening to you.
Not
Like
focused.
like right now, I'm sitting in my Airbnb and it's being rented out tomorrow, and I'm like trying to get this thing ready, and I'm thinking about all that stuff. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
into this conversation, but my mind is all over the place. It's all over the place, and I guess as me, not men. I'm not yet. I can't think about all that stuff at one time. You know, I mean, I can't focus on
See,
one thing.
but
I can't
Stephen,
focus on just one thing.
Stephen, mm-mm. Listen,
No,
listen,
that's an excuse.
listen, listen, Stephen, listen. No,
Okay.
you don't have to think about all those things at one time.
Right.
But if you want great love and great sex, oh, you better devote 10% of that time to just that and not all that other stuff. So
Yeah.
we have all the excuses of why we can't do it, but at the same time, we're not satisfied with where we are. It's investment. You have to invest in your relationship. Now you have 24 hours in a day. And for anyone to say that they cannot invest, what if you invested a quarter of that time? What are you talking about? Even a bit, 2, 3, 4 hours, just one-on-one, all the other stuff to the side. It's not going anywhere, but we have to prioritize our relationships just like we do our business, our career,
Right.
our money, and everything else. You have to invest. Relationships is a wealth or bankruptcy. And we have to determine how did I invest today?
Right. You're absolutely
Individual
right.
quality
Some
time.
things I say on this show, I say to get reactions. You know what I'm saying? So I say to get reactions. But we spoke on this maybe a month ago about slowing down and reading each other and building your relationships with your partner. Well, I know that, but sometimes we are all over the place, and I want people to respond to that. So we're running out of time.
Tell me
We got
this,
8
you
minutes
two.
left.
What do you guys think of this real quick? Where they say that relationships should be something that you have to work on day to day. Do you agree with that, or should relationships just be something simple that should just
No,
happen?
you have to work on relationships day to day because everything changes day
Okay.
to day by day. Things change.
Look, and
In
this is
life, everything changes. You have to work on everything.
Yeah.
You can't be satisfied with what you
I'll put
have.
it
You
this
got to always try to make it better. Go ahead, Linda.
yes. I was gonna say, you bathe every day, you eat every day, you work every day almost. Yes, you invest time and energy in your relationship every single day. The only thing that grows is what you feed. So we have to always ask ourselves, what am I feeding today? What am I manifesting? How did I spend that time? We all get the same amount of time. And it's called opportunity cost, how we choose to spend that time. And if we don't I tell people at the top of your priority list should always be you first, because if there's no you, there's nothing else. So you must take good care of yourself and invest time in yourself to exercise, to eat properly, or whatever. Go meditate, go get a massage, because you need to keep this vessel together. And then secondly, if you're in a relationship, you need to invest in that, because that's your helpmeet. The wise King Solomon said that 2 is better than 1, because when one fall, there's no one to pick them up. But if there are 2, one can lift
Right.
the other up. So you better not be ignoring each other. So we have to invest every day, do something special every day to build that intimacy and connection in your relationship. Just like
I
you
know
feed
me
your belly
personally
every day.
I know me at the age I am now, it's like I don't want to work that hard. If it don't come easy, then maybe it ain't meant to be.
Right.
It's like,
See,
because I feel like at this age,
Joy,
everybody should be mature enough to at least know the basics and on how to make a relationship work. And those who have either been with each other for a long time, it should really be easy because you know each other. or either people getting into new relationships, they're going into it more so knowing, okay, I don't like this, or I compromise on this, and I like this, and everybody kind of be on the same page, and it's like, let's just do this, because it shouldn't be too hard, but that's just
Well,
me.
see, I call it, I look at it this way. It's work if you call it work. I know we say work as a way of describing what we're doing in terms of investing. That's why sometimes I use the word invest in our relationship. So
Okay.
I told people every day you have to work on yourself. But when I say work, I don't mean literally working. I mean finding joy and taking time out to meditate, to get centered, taking time out to exercise, to go for a walk, to explore nature, taking time out to internalize and process your emotions, to make sure you're well and you're balanced. And that's what you're bringing into a relationship. And if you're in a relationship, I don't mean making this thing taskful. It goes back to the simple things of coming in, sweetheart, how was your day? Picking up the phone. Is there anything you need? You know, that's the work, the kind of, and again, I don't call that work. I call that
It's
investing.
the small things.
That's
It's the
investing
small
in
things.
intimacy. The small details. Hey, I saw this and I thought about you today. You know, it's that kind of attention that we give. Where I get home first and you run bath water, or he runs, you know, it's that. It's not work. It's just, I want to show
The
you
simple
attention
things.
and
It's the
affection
small
today.
things.
Right.
Man, I like grabbing
That's all.
butts. I ain't gonna lie. I like grabbing butts. I like hugging. I like squeezing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a touchy-feely person. I love touch, man. Ain't nothing better than touch.
You love
Every time I
touch.
hug somebody, oh yeah. Every time I hug somebody, it's like, I'm talking about every time. Man, that is the best hug I ever had. You just hug and you squeeze them tight. I say because I love touch and I love hugs. So it's the small things that really matters, you know. I get for real. I get my friends' parents, my friends' moms. They always say, "Dang, where's Steve? He gives the best hugs. He need to come back over." I'm like, "Your mama trying to holler at your boy." That's
exactly. So, you know, exactly, and that's it. You know, not the church hug, but that hug that you can feel. You can literally, when people are doing intentional hugging with affection, you can literally feel the virtue of love flow from them that you connect with. I think we need to slow down and just say I love you, because at the end of the day, when we leave this world, or when we're lying there, what's going to matter most will be our relationship. How well did we love? How well did we feel? How well did we allow love to flow through us? Because that's who we are. We are love creatures. I always say, give it away. It serves no purpose if you're not giving it away.
Exactly.
And hopefully people can start hugging more now that people are feeling better about COVID, because that pushed a lot of things away from people. And it's so needed, you know, like you say, the human touch. It's like so many people have gotten messed up because they don't have that, and they need it. It's very needed.
Hey, they say we're supposed to be opening back up fully.
And finding joy in it.
I can see a whole bunch of babies popping out. Hey, I can see a whole bunch of babies being popped out in around January, February? No, what's it? Next year?
You think so?
Yeah, January, February. Man, there's gonna be a whole bunch of relationships. So I want to give shout outs. Jacqueline, what's up, Jackie? I see you. Don, you always late. Pauline,
we need to do the Uber.
I love you, Pauline.
Okay,
for real. No, I'm just messing. So we have 1 minute left, and I want y'all to go ahead and tell them where we can get your books at.
Okay. Well, as you know, I'm Linda Streeter. It's always good to be here. And again, my website is lindahartstreeter.com. I have 2 books. I don't have to show because I'm not at home, but the books did arrive. So I have my new book. I will preview it next week on the show, The Power of Conflict. This is teaching us how to be creative and work through our issues. That's the work right there. Work through our issues that we can stay together and stop breaking up, divorcing, and murdering each other with our tongues, if not with our hands, okay? And then The Art of Manifesting Love, of course, is already out. Get a copy because it's all about love. You're a love creature, so live love out loud.
There we go.
My name
That's
is
good.
toymore.com, and it's TOIMOORE.com, and I have 13 books out. And they deal with love, sex, relationships, domestic violence, how to self-publish, all kind of stuff. Even have a erotic comedy, which is hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I've interviewed all kind of people all over the United States. Even James Cannon, Nick Cannon's dad, we co-wrote a book together. So I have quite a few different things for people to choose from. So check me out.
All right, all right. I am
Alrighty.
the doctor of love. If you have any questions, just inbox me. My book, let me see. My book is in my heart. And if y'all want to feel my heart, holla. All right, we're going to get out of here. We love y'all. We love y'all. Love y'all. Deuces.
All right. Love you
Thanks for
too.
having
Bye,
me.
Toy.
See
Bye,
you,
Next
Stevie.
Friday.
Linda. Stay in
All right,
touch.
bye-bye.
Look to talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Right.
night.
We will. We have to.
Bye-bye.
You know what? We're going to connect off here so we can talk about those wellness